Yeah, I like how he did this. Not really seeing anything for Bugzilla here. Queen takes d7 is coming.
Alright. Okay, guys, sorry about the lack of sound. I think we've got it now. Kleerkast and Mugwort, you want to check if people can hear you?
Hey guys.
Hello. Test. I'm not singing for Mixu, but
Alright.
Be serious now.
Okay.
yeah, I was singing before for sure.
Alright, apologies for that. Yeah, I'm going to blame Spencer for that one. We had to try to get him to bed, and I started the stream without checking sound properly. It's last stream I did was actually Oppa Wesson vs Jasugi round 3, or day 3 of that one. So here we
I
are.
wasn't expecting BughouseKnight to go into heavy theory at all during this match, but I'm sure all you guys recognize this position.
Yeah.
Bugzilla's played this with black quite a number of times.
A lot of people have played this with black quite a number of times in the last 12 to 24 months, possibly.
I don't know about castles.
Castles. Is there an issue with that?
Gets busted to knight takes f7, doesn't it?
Is it? I've forgotten the line here. Is it knight takes f7 first or knight takes f6?
I think it takes f7 first, and then you're threatening takes f6 and bishop takes f7.
Is it queen takes d8, and then if rook takes, queen at h8 is the issue? The king f1 critical there, because we can't have the king go to the d file. It'll get captured. The queen will get captured with check. King e2 maybe runs into bishop g4 or knight at f4. So I think king f1 was.
I thought black would throw in a pawn at e2 check.
Okay.
Is he getting mated here?
Is there mate?
Black defending with queen at f8.
Isn't this some queen e8 and then queen takes f7, rook h8?
Yeah, then you have the queen in hand.
Pattern. Yeah.
So queen at e8 check, queen at f8, queen takes f7, queen takes f7, then rook at h8, king takes, knight takes f7, but then white has the queen in hand. King g8, and knight at h6 looks good enough. But you might want to be more precise than that. So it looks like BughouseKnight will be on it. Sorry, Bugzilla, actually. I've got that they both start with bug, so I've got this wrong.
Knight at h6 immediately, does it matter?
So knight at h6 you'd have to go king f8. But then I think queen at g8, king e7, queen takes d8, king e6, pawn at f5 is mate.
Yep.
So if knight at h6, g takes, knight takes h6, king f8 just runs into queen at f7. So this is straight to mate. Okay, so yeah, again apologies with the sound issues, but it looks like BughouseKnight took the first match while I was away.
Yeah, Bugzilla went for early knight takes f2. I think
so
maybe
they're saying in the chat that knight takes g2 could have been a mistake because the knight had to stay on g6 in case of bishop takes f7, then you can go king h8, and there's no knight at g6 check.
Ah. So it could be a mix of two different ideas.
I thought pawn at e2 was at least an attempt to distract the bishop away from f7. I'm not sure about king takes e2.
Right. Yeah, sorry, the screen kind of keeps jumping around a bit. I gotta fix that. I have enough viewers that just pop in or out that it makes the screen jump.
Yeah, that's a very annoying feature. I also don't know how to deal with that.
I've just changed the board size slightly, so hopefully that'll hold it.
Right.
Okay, so.
Yeah, in previous game, Bugzilla went for bishop g4 and knight e5 was played, and now he plays a little more conventional.
Yeah, this
stuff,
is very balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say the last game was an experiment with the same colors from Bugzilla. This very bizarre position with the pawns on d4, d5, e4, e5. But yeah, BughouseKnight just kept the knight sack on f2, kept the extra piece, and converted very cleanly in game 1.
Right.
BughouseKnight practiced against me, so he knows he just play king h1 when you don't know what to do. I thought maybe you could play knight e5 there, because taking on b7 is
Qatar specialty, isn't it? Qatar specialty.
Yeah,
but now you don't have
exactly.
time for rook g1 and queen f1.
I was actually thinking knight e2, knight g3 before allowing bishop takes c3.
Bishop on b5 seems misplaced. Would you just bring it back to d3?
Yeah, I think Bugzilla will like this position because just thematically he's got all his pieces on the king side. You know, there's been king h1, queen e1, but there's still kind of two defenders on f2. So, you know, he's played knight h5 here. There's a few options. Either there's something with queen h4 or a knight takes f4 and push on a light squares. Maybe
it's good spotting because in most positions you don't get to play knight h5 with the queen bearing down on h5.
Alright, f3 was the last chance to play it. So still 3 defenders on g3 before queen h4 got in. That would have been too late. So let's see, exchange on f5. I think you have to take the knight on f4 here. Oh, well.
I was scared of bishop at d2, I think.
Okay.
Because
I was afraid of knight takes g2 here.
Yeah, and now bishop takes e4.
Well, knight at h6 we got to watch.
H6.
That'll be mating.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I think he's just gonna take on f5 next.
Yeah. So what can we do against that? Maybe even something like queen h4 could be interesting to cover h6, but still maintain some pressure by threatening a queen trade. Because if you just defend, e takes f5, and I think white's happy.
I can take h4, then there's a knight at e7 to watch out for.
Yeah, there was mate, yeah. Knight e7, smothered mate coming.
Yeah, okay, that's a bad miss from me.
But I don't think Bugzilla minds if queen takes g2. He's just going to stick a knight on h4 and pawn at g2.
Yeah, so e takes f5,
E takes f5
I like here. The knight on g2 is your friend at the moment still, but then e takes f5, maybe you back off with knight h4, cover
knight
f5.
Takes e3. Knight takes e3.
Oh, knight takes e3 as well, yep. But knight at g4, so going aggressive on h6.
Yeah, this looks good for white, I think. I mean, if he wants, he can play bishop at h3 now at any moment.
Okay, bishop g5 played. Is there something with bishop at f6 or h6? Like bishop at f6 looks the go. And Bugzilla with less than half a minute now. This will be a test.
I wonder about queen takes h4 and knight at h6.
Knight at h6.
Maybe too much, but this is winning material and looks very good as well.
I do like bishop at g2. It was a good defensive move because it really slows down Black's attack.
Yeah, or the said move bishop at h3 from Kleerkast was also equally good. I think the trouble with that queen takes h4 is you don't come back from those if you're wrong, and because if knight at h6, king h8, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, if you don't have the knockout blow, then you regret not going down this line because this just seems so much safer and solid.
You could almost do a Kleerkast move, knight at h6 and bishop at f6.
Yeah, I was looking at 97 as well. Queen takes c7 next, and some mate with at f6 e5.
Yeah.
But okay, Bugzilla knew what was coming, so king h8.
Okay, it's critical now. This is a game still. Both players doing very well. Each defending some aggression from the opponent.
That's
Yeah,
a very
knight at
good
h5
multi-purpose
Oh, what
move.
knight at f2 is hanging? What?
Yeah,
I thought queen f3, perhaps.
Just a blunder.
That.
Should decide the game in Bugzilla's favor.
So do you play rook at d? The bishop's covering e2 here. It's not.
He's just going to pick up
yeah,
e7.
you just take
yeah.
the knights. Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking queen at h4 and try and pick up the bishop.
But as Bugzilla would say, why risk? There's still a game. Still a game. But I mean, surely white lost some edge there, just giving the queen away. Ooh, queen at d2. So looking to sneak in, the rook takes h2 there. But queen takes e3 looked very strong. This is very strong
Yeah,
too, because
can't
queen
take
at
it
e1,
back.
you can't take back, rook takes f2, knight h3 coming. And black king just looking miles safer. So BughouseKnight gives up that one, 2-1 to Bugzilla.
Yeah, certainly still a game after, say, queen f3 instead of h3, where the blunder happened.
Alright. Going into this again. And I mean, Bugzilla is one that will book up on theory, so okay, this is a line.
This is what you call the main line, right?
Yeah, I'm outclassed as either color here. I feel whenever I enter this line, it doesn't end up well for me. So this is a critical move. Knight at f5 actually not just aggressive on g7, but covers h4. There's a critical check to avoid. Knight at h4. You know, there could be like a queen at d1, and then a knight at h4 can determine the game if there's no knight on f5. If e takes f5, I think bishop takes f7 will be critical. So here, queen at f6 is a move.
Yeah, queen at g6 or queen at f6. I've never seen this one before. Knight at h5.
Yeah, and it can all come undone quite quickly for black if you're not playing critical moves here. Well, for either side, that matter.
Oh, black is probably threatening queen at e1 now, followed by bishop takes g5.
Right.
That sort of, and then you have a knight for f4.
So queen at f3. I suppose this is preparing a king takes g2 without having queen at g4 as a problem.
Oh, setting up knight takes g7 check as well.
Yeah, so he's almost forced to take on f5, maybe. Bishop takes f7, you just go king f8. Yeah, knight takes d7 is a nice trick.
So we're looking at e takes f5 here?
Yeah, I think that's it's okay. Maybe bishop takes f7, bishop takes h5.
Yeah, just
might be
the
annoying.
bishop out of the way.
But at least you're not mated.
Oh, exactly. And queen e1, knight h4 is there as well for black in some lines.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Bishop takes g5.
So I didn't even consider... no, knight takes g7 didn't work in that case.
No, the knight was gone.
Yeah.
Covering f7.
It's still not a threat.
No, but BughouseKnight is seeing what he needs to see, but now he takes f5. Maybe this is a better order, avoiding bishop takes f7.
I don't know whether
But
it's
still-
avoiding it, is it? You got queen h5, knight e5 coming.
Yeah, bishop takes
And
f7, king
king-
takes, queen takes h5.
Exactly, you have to take now. There's no option.
And what, bishop at d5? Do we seal in the king? Is this mate? This feels like mate.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Bishop at d5 and
Bishop at
bishop
d5.
e6.
Yeah, bishop at
setting-
d5, bishop at e6, knight at e5, king e8. Well, bishop at c4 is just as good, but
Yeah, it's still pawn on f7 because you got the bishop x-ray through the black bishop on e6.
that's right. So it's too powerful, the two bishops. You're just sealing the king off a running path, king e6 to d6, and then out to the queen side. So maybe, yes, this isn't required because you can't have the knight on e5 covering d7. So black king avoids that. But still a knight to e5 or a queen to d1 here. Oh! Queen to d1.
Good Bugzilla move, safety first.
Yeah,
And it's a clear mate though as well.
that's mate, yeah.
So three
Because
games, Bugzilla.
if king c6, queen d5 comes in and queen b5 finishes, so yeah, I think BughouseKnight could change opening choice with black there. It's
I think you
actually
should, yeah.
it's one of the hardest things to maintain some practicality with such decisions in these matches. You only have 10 games, and quite often in hindsight, I think it's easy to see, like, why did I try to find the theoretical line when I'm out prepared?
Yeah,
but,
especially when you
it's-
lost two games in the same line and you're trying to think about improvements in the opposite color game, or what can I do differently next time? Trying to find the theoretical move, you really don't want to be in that situation.
Easier said than done, and much easier from the sideline.
Yeah, I remember a match against GSVC a couple of years ago. I lost badly 6-1, where he kept playing the Scandinavian, and because I'm so stubborn, I just kept playing his traps that he prepared for me, and I fell for a different trap every game.
Yeah, in my match against not Janley, I was happy to switch to e4, for example. It's a thing that can give you a confidence boost as well. I mean, if BughouseKnight now wins his next black game, it's still a match.
Yeah,
Even if he loses this one.
it's still early days. So on this game, I mean, early g4, Bugzilla looking to open the h file, keep the king in the center. Like pawn at g4 is nice
It's
for
inviting
black.
bishop takes, right? And pawn at h3.
Bishop takes what?
G4 and pawn at h3.
Yeah.
Ah,
exactly. I was
possibly.
thinking about moving the knight maybe to g5 there, or e5.
I'm okay with pawn at b5 too. You're hitting c7. White's got to play for something. Pawn at d6. Can you play pawn at e5? Just try to crash through the middle. Oh, b6. Okay.
Fancy.
So maybe, yeah, this is troublesome for black.
Ah, yeah, he's too slow.
Really undermining this defense on c7 and d6.
So hard to find a move here. I mean, knight f5, you get knight takes c7.
Yeah, rook c8 maybe, and then try to defend on the back rank, but it's also not pleasant.
Wow, he's letting d6 go. Okay.
Is he sacking the queen? No, not yet.
Well, I know what John Lee would do.
Huh.
pawn at b5 looks very
Yeah,
strong.
pawn at b5.
Not that the c6 knight is not covered, but knight at e5 is gonna be nice if allowed. So maybe even here queen takes a5 to just go knight a5, knight e5.
Or use the one on the board, 95.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, f7's gonna fall. Oh wow, BughouseKnight just took this one with knight b5 and pawn at
Absolutely
b6. Yeah, I don't think Bugzilla saw this coming.
And we were focused on the king side with pawn at g4, but then suddenly, after 2 moves on the queen side, it's all over.
Yeah, no, anything can happen here. This is still early days. It's 3-1.
Queen takes a5 here, by the way.
Yes,
good.
it's
Yeah,
very
there's
clean. Queen takes
c7, knight at
a5.
d6. Mate,
That's right. I've got the arrows on the board to match your commentary. Mugwort. Pawn at d6. So is Miss Queen takes a5. And I mean Queen takes a8 is threatened at the same time, so Queen takes a5 is a clean win there. Not that White's doing badly here, but
No,
I mean
still.
at this level though, like you want to try to finish clean when it's there.
Yeah, exactly. But in this particular position, his king, BughouseKnight, his king looks okay. But if you have a finish, you wanna do it, because these games can turn around even from here.
But you know how it goes. You're okay, and your king's still safer, and then the material's kind of nearly balanced, then the material's balanced,
exactly.
and then both kings are safe, and then you wonder how you lost the game like that. So now he's gone for Queen takes a5. If let's say just takes, what's the play? Is there a queen at c7 which still mates? So I guess you would
take the pawn, b7.
It didn't matter if you took with the rook or the pawn. You either opened up b6 or b8 for a queen check.
Bugzilla is one of those players where you feel like you've almost got mate, but he slips away.
Yeah. And we can chill, but BughouseKnight has 20 seconds and he's looking for the mate and time is ticking. That's practical, good decision. Just go for material.
Okay, so
Bishop at f4 maybe.
yeah, bishop at f4, pawn at g3, and then I guess knight c8. Okay, rook takes b5.
Now just take the knight and the queen defense. Yeah.
Yeah, your question being down 3-1, if it's better to have a long grinding game where Bugzilla feels like he's losing the whole way, so you can have more time in the match feeling like you're winning to get your momentum back up, or if you just take the quick kill. The knight at e5 here is actually really strangling. Knight at e5.
Yeah, may have even been a forced mate, knight at e5.
Yeah, I can't see Bugzilla coming back from this. It could win on time, but when you got to move. Alright, he's live and kicking. He'll finish it.
Yeah, he does have some mouse skills, so not to worry there.
He's out of clock trouble now.
Increase the tension and the drama for the audience. So get down to 1
missing
second.
mating one, but okay.
Just sack a queen on the side.
Bishop
that was
e3
intentional.
I don't think so.
Yeah, knight b takes d6, and then that covers the knight. Yeah, well, rook at g5 finishes it right there. So we breathe a sigh of relief for BughouseKnight. Okay, he's thinking.
I think I'll move on. Knight f6.
Go d5 to d5.
He could still get tempted back in an e5 here.
Yeah.
Oh, he has been. There we go. Bugzilla will be happy.
Yeah, Bugzilla's thinking, I've seen this before. I'm just happy to repeat.
Yeah.
All the pressure's on BughouseKnight here.
He'll do it all day. Yeah, so pawn at e6 is right here.
Yeah, now is not the time to get creative. So really are not a lot of moves for black.
I'll be frank and honest here. I wouldn't even try this line once with black against Bugzilla. I know he would prepare well, and I know that I'm underprepared here. So
Yeah, BughouseKnight probably doesn't have any confidence in the position where he should, in my opinion, should have gone e takes f5 in the previous game. Because I think that's a moment to deviate and not here. Basically, there's two moves here, right? Castles and at e6 or something. Or is castles?
I'm not sure if castles is a move here.
Well, if you really know the line, I think castles is losing.
Okay. I only play e4, e5 on stream when I'm chilling. Then I lose, and then it doesn't matter.
There's a wasted minute.
Yeah.
King takes, is he?
Maybe. A king takes, knight takes f7, king e7. There's opportunities for black there.
Wow.
So I would hazard a guess this would be new for Bugzilla at least. If he knew it, he would have moved by now. But you can't just take this rook for granted and know that you're okay, because for example, knight takes f7, king e7, knight takes h8, like queen at d1. If king takes, knight at h4, king h3, pawn at g4, king g3, queen f3 mate. That's all over Red Rover pretty quickly.
You want to do a move like queen d1 or queen d2.
Yeah, you might think
queen d2, so it's protected by the bishop.
I do think
queen drop.
You need a queen on d3 or d1 here
to cover f3. But yeah, on d2 it covers e1. So.
And this is how sharp this is. I mean, for a new player to just think, oh, well, surely knight takes f7, win a rook, that'd be okay, you know. But it's very sharp, this position for both sides.
So what happens on queen drop, king e7?
Queen drop where?
Oh, anywhere, d1, d2, take your pick, and then king e7.
Okay, anywhere but d4, d5, d6. Yeah. So let's call it d1, queen at d1, king e7.
Sure. What does
rook
white
g1
do after
maybe?
That? Yeah, rook g1 is sensible.
Yeah, I think so.
There will be a theoretical point
h4.
Between queen at d3 or queen at d1. Feels like there'll be a theoretical point, but at the moment I'm just concerned knight at f4 is going to hit.
Out why people don't go king takes d8.
Yeah. So good play from BughouseKnight to actually stump Bugzilla.
But the funny thing is, if this was a 1-0 game, Bugzilla would just play queen at d3 in 1 second.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take the risk with knight takes f7 check.
King e7, you reckon? Or e8?
Yeah, maybe he's thinking knight d4, but I don't know. King e7 looks logical.
Oh,
The
queen
match
at
is so
d7.
engrossing, they're ignoring all comments. Hello, chat. We see you.
So, for the same reasons, knight takes f7 doesn't work for white? Or are we missing something? Am I missing something?
Nah, pawn at d5. Yeah, so knight takes h8, queen takes d3 would be good for black. So that was the idea of why BughouseKnight was threatening the queen trade, but now looking for some initiative. And this is where I thought queen at d1 maybe was slightly different to d3, in that knight at f4 is a tempo hit. But queen a3, can you just take f7 here? Because otherwise I think black's worse.
Take f7, and then looks okay. I think you have to do knight takes. No queen sacks there.
Yeah, knight takes for sure.
Queen d1, is it winning?
Oh, queen
It is.
d1.
Oh, hang on, the queen covers f3 in the other line.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this for white. You can get the move order wrong. Pawn at g4, king,
Pawn at g4,
knight takes f5, ef, pawn at h4, and pawn at h3, and then you win the queen with check. That'll be mate.
Yeah, or pawn at f3 is even more.
But he needs to see
probably.
it. He needs to see knight takes f5. That's the challenge. He's just spent a lot of time grinding out of the opening. He might not catch knight takes. So yeah, he's missed knight takes f5.
Take the knight, and the bishop covers.
King takes was important.
Bugzilla's got the initiative.
That's sad for BughouseKnight. He was that close.
Easy to see from a distance.
Yeah. Bugzilla's going to take this one with 2 more pawns on the 7th rank. Ooh.
That's important. 3-0 or 4-2.
That's a big game for Bugzilla to win there, and you know, some real tenacity from BughouseKnight to keep playing into that line and actually have a win on his racket, so to speak. Okay, so bishop g5, BughouseKnight deviating. He's put his bishop on f4 before.
Yeah, so someone asking, is this a qualifier for something? The winner of this match goes to candidate stage of the Crazy House World Championship organized on Lichess. So it's a pretty important match. And the loser still has a chance to qualify for that part of the tournament, but we'll have to win a couple more games. And if you win, you're home free.
Yeah, you want to win this one. I'll just acknowledge Koshul Oleg and Chuck Moulton for subscriptions. Nice to see you guys. Back to the match. So I think if you're white or black, you can be happy with the opening, because this is fairly balanced. Both sides have opportunities.
Notice this is important that h6 was played. Otherwise, there are some tricks with knight h6 and knight f6. It's very common in these openings where you the queen is on d7. It can be forked with a knight check on f6.
That's right. The castles looks logical here.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, this can be a long grinding game, this one. It's very balanced. There's no real pawn trades that can happen, so it's a bit of a recycling machine with the minor pieces. So bishop at h7, covering a bit more on g6, but hitting c2. And
Recycling machine, I haven't heard that one before.
I just made it up on the spot. That's why you haven't. You heard it first here on John Lee Crazy House. I remember.
And the problem is that the bishop on d2 is doing nothing, whereas the knight on in Bugzilla's pocket could be useful somewhere. There,
I was a little bit surprised with bishop at d2. We'll see if that bishop plays a role in the rest of the game.
It's like
yes, time for bishop e1.
Trade me. That's the role of bishop on d2. Both sides still solid here. This is a very balanced game. You couldn't pick a side here. I think it's these sorts of games where you really see the strong players try to outplay each other, and it's these sorts of middle games that separate the good from the great.
I'm starting to like white here actually, with the possibility to go knight g4, for example, go after h6 at the right time.
Yeah, the queen covering the second rank makes an attack seem fairly distant for black, doesn't it?
So here's a question for you. If black plays something like bishop at f5, would you ever consider pushing e4 with white?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that particular moment, I don't think so, because of knight takes f4. You have to watch out for tricks like knight takes f4 and knight e2.
Yeah, before the knight went to h5, that might have been something. Because if you let that bishop hang on f5 long enough, there'll be a pawn at h3 that'll jump in at some point. So you do need to neutralize that.
Knight on h5 is also a nice defender, by the way, for g7. So
I think the time advantage is very telling here for BughouseKnight, with more than 2 minutes against Bugzilla's less than 1. You know, Bugzilla, if he's comfortable and he knows where he's playing, he won't be in time trouble. So I don't think he's necessarily happy with how this opening's turned out. It's not horrible, but
yeah, I would have considered bishop at a6 for Bugzilla instead of f6.
yeah, this piece sacrifice seems alright. Piece for a pawn.
2 pawns. 2 pawns.
Oh, 2 pawns even. Okay, it's straight then.
Yeah.
But I never know in these positions whether I'm putting too many bishops on the same color.
The pawn at g4 looks like a move at some stage. Rook takes c7? What's this? Yeah. Okay, he's looking for a way in. You go with like a pawn at b7?
Pawn at
b7?
Pawn at e7?
The rook's got no square.
Very nice.
Like, how did he deny the rook on a8 of squares? Like, if you look back about 6 moves, like white had nothing on the back rank. Yeah, he's pushing on the back rank now.
And the bishop on e5 is so nice. That just doesn't allow a lot of counterplay on g3, h2, where Bugzilla needs to find his counterplay.
Yeah, and the pawn on f3 with the queen on d2 covering the second rank. It's just so hard to get in.
Alright, but he's got to find the way home. Okay, starting the factory on the back rank here.
I think that's a good idea to allow or to take a rook from Bugzilla that covers your own back rank, which bishop takes d3 weakened a bit.
Yeah, he's just taking all the pieces here.
Yeah,
this is game over.
Wouldn't happen to be a recycling factory.
No, not this one. This is a bit more of an incinerator, I think.
What's going on here? Take the bishop, or
Yeah.
he's not afraid?
I think knight d8 is, or e5 is even better. g6 is open.
Who's got more pieces to pile up on f7?
You can just take a break and play rook takes g2 here. That's yeah, that's very blockable. So Bugzilla's gonna make him work for it. That's a fake queen on e8, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, rook takes g6, nice. And there we have it.
Checkmate. The self-mate in the end.
Bugzilla,
Out of this misery.
if Bugzilla defended any more than that, he'd have no pieces left before BughouseKnight
Exactly.
mated him.
See something different for a change. g6.
I feel
Taking
like
a page out
he's
of
taking a
Candidates.
page out of my opening book here, which is pretty much out of book after move 1. I've played this against BughouseKnight several times as black, so he's played the white side of this. Knight g5, what's this about?
This is a mugwort move. He's been watching my games.
So you know something about this.
Yeah, I played it against Penguin and GSVC.
Okay.
CWC Candidates last year.
No offense, but I'm pretty happy to see it as black. So I might not be understanding it well enough. Yeah, I'd go with knight c6 because knight g4 and e6 looks like a problem for black. But
Yeah, and even 95 can be problematic.
I think there's a big safety benefit in giving away the knight here. You get the check with knight ge4. You have things to play for.
Yeah, e takes f6 will be black's dream move.
So now do you take on f7 twice and then he takes f6?
That's probably what he's thinking on, because bishop f4 or something else to cover the pawn doesn't really help white.
E6.
So e6.
Yeah, I've had much worse positions than this come out of the perk. I'll say that. Yeah, 95 makes sense here. So
Seems to suit BughouseKnight's style a lot more, this opening.
h6, and maybe he also had takes e6 and bishop at c4. But h6 seems reasonable.
I think black's doing fine here.
Yeah, I'd agree. Just don't go knight h5 here. Because the queen will be sacrificed.
A knight at h5 is okay.
Yeah.
That's alright.
Yeah, exactly. And now, yeah, you just take and remove the knight and sacrifice a piece on f7.
Drop a bishop somewhere, c4, b3.
King h8 here, or h7 is okay. Queen
Queen
runs
can
out
go
to
to
c6.
Yeah, looks okay for black. Pawn at
Pawn at,
g4 might
pawn at
be a bit,
b5 is a trap though. Pawn at b5
okay.
traps the queen. I mean,
Yeah.
you can sack it without too much hesitation
Yeah,
on
you're
c3.
not worried about queen takes g2?
Hmm.
I wouldn't say worried, but maybe something.
No, I would have taken on c3, just hold some material. I actually think it's good because
Knight 7?
I think that was a miss. But could you have done anything anyway?
Yeah, I was thinking bishop at e4 and then knight takes e7, bishop takes g2.
Yeah, I was thinking bishop at e4 as well. Yeah.
And that's a good queen sacrifice then.
Ooh, doesn't take the queen.
Bishop takes e6 following.
Knight ef4 I would play here.
Yeah, I would have preserved the pawn for at e4 in this situation.
But on gf5, bishop e6, there's a lot of knights you have in hand after queen takes g2. Then you got knight ef4 check coming.
Yeah, true.
Actually, the e knight's gone. No, you don't have knight ef4.
Yeah, that's why I was going to play knight ef4 before bishop takes e6 took it away. Okay. This is a live game. Very much a live game.
This looks like total mayhem to me.
Bishop is nicely covering f2. That's important. If g takes f5, you can take the bishop or take the knight on e6 and not get smothered mated with knight at e2.
Yeah, you've got to watch out.
Still even with knight g3.
You've got to watch out for bishop at g8 here. So like you might think of a knight e g5 to cover h7. So bishop at g8, you can tuck your king away on h8. Not straightforward for either side to play here, but I think I like white
bishop
a
takes
bit more.
f7 should be good,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and bishop at g8
Bishop,
and knight at e7.
knight e7.
Oh, actually, no, true.
Looks winning.
Yep, he's seen it. This is it.
Yeah, queen g8,
rook at e6,
e6.
queen e8. Yeah, this made in one. Well, a lot more straightforward than I saw. But as I said, knight e g5, so you have king h8 as a resource against this bishop at g8. So Bugzilla 5-3, looking at a match point here, an entry to the candidates. So BughouseKnight must win the next 2 games to try to bring it to 5-all, and then we go 2 games at a time until we have a decisive result.
Bugzilla has been known to throw in a wolf opening, wolf defense now and then.
Exactly.
I think BughouseKnight will be happy with that, though. I think if you give him space and just logical potential to move forward, he does very well.
The battle, by the way, is who plays e5 first, if you're unfamiliar with this opening. So that's why knight g4. At some moment, black wants to open up his bishops with e5. Because d5, then white will play e5, and he'll have a very nice bishop on d3. And now he's asked the question, should I move my bishop to b5? And he responds with yes. Yeah, nice play. If knight h6, you can play at bishop takes c6 and e5, and I think white is doing very well.
So white wins because white played e5 first. That's
yeah.
What
Well, that's in a higher sense. I think one of the most important things in this system.
Yeah, I think an opening like this as well. Like BughouseKnight will also do well in the creative, like a place where there's creativity that can thrive, and it's not entirely theoretical. So I'm already willing to hand this one to BughouseKnight just on the tone of the opening. Knight at g4. And where's the bishop go? Bishop at g5.
Or bishop at e3 first. And try and provoke pawn f2, then bring it back. And then there's h4.
And he's gone at g7. Okay. No time to castle, he says. We'll go straight in.
.92 is requested in the chat.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. We might see
Control
it.
those bishops.
Yeah, 92 for just one moment.
Too bad it would have been taken probably. But yeah, nice domination here for white. It's very hard for black to break open, I think. F5, good try.
Oh, this is dangerous with e3 opening up.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually considering king g1 instead of pawn at e2 because the king on h2 is so safe, and you save your pawns for, you know, big attack potential on the dark squares.
Yeah, pawn at f6 was such a huge threat.
And now bishop at b3 I was looking at. Not sure how strong it is. There's no blockaders in hand.
Yeah, because I was handing this match to BughouseKnight earlier, and Bugzilla has certainly pushed up with f5 and reclaimed some space here.
Knight takes e4 is a problem though, so maybe he should play bishop at h6 again. Because white is threatening knight takes e4, knight h6, bishop g7, knight takes e6. So he covers e6. Also good.
Yeah, but bishop at h6 just looks so much cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring the knight back to h5 here?
Maybe he just wants to go for the d2 pawn at a certain moment. Not sure.
It's not hanging. You probably have to put the bishop on e3.
Yeah, now you have to worry about queen takes d4 ideas as well. Finally, the king walks out of any knight forks.
Free pawn. Bishop takes a7. Just saying.
GSVC will take that.
Well, I prefer bishop takes a7 to bishop e3 actually. At least I got a pawn.
Or maybe knight c4 now comes and he's forced to take it. Okay.
I think you were right though, Kleerkast. He was aiming at d2, but maybe after bishop at d4 realized that the bishop's hanging and then had to move it back. But you see, he won the pawn, so white's a pawn up here. This is still good for white. I'd go knight f3, just hang in there, hold the material.
Yeah.
But you got to grind a long way. But you're up a whole minute here if you're BughouseKnight. You can Ooh, pawn at g6 looks nice. Maybe bishop takes f4 is. Yeah, BughouseKnight back in the driving seat here.
Yeah.
Ooh, he stole a piece.
Very nice.
He just picked him apart.
And who cares about that rook? And now he's doing really well. Look at those knights on e3 and f3 will guard the king if the queen has to go away.
Guard the king in the afterlife if necessary.
Yeah, very strong play from BughouseKnight in all the white games, pretty much. Has he lost any white games? He must have lost one.
Yeah, he lost
Just
one.
don't remember what it was.
He lost one. So critical game here where he's got it to 5-4. In tennis terms, Bugzilla has to serve for the match here. There's only one break in it. Oh come on! This is like even the move order is. I feel like I'm moving the pieces without touching my mouse.
Yeah, and he got a good position. So it's very possible to get 5-0 here.
Yeah, the critical game was I think game 6 where BughouseKnight had
where
the
he
mate.
could have gone 3-0, but he missed mate.
Yeah.
Oh, the knight takes f5 check and the pawn drops.
Yes, that's it. In a way, it's probably better that you miss a mate and don't know it, because it doesn't play on your mind the next game.
Okay, so no knight g5, but knight h6 maybe. It's always a problem with the bishop on f7. Don't know how. You can just take and go knight at f5 probably in this particular line.
Even pawn at g7 might be okay.
Ah, yeah.
But knight at f5 here hits d4. I think this makes sense. And now black's actually quite safe. Like black wants some ammunition in the tank. Yeah, pawn at g7 is okay. He's allowing knight takes f6. Maybe knight c takes d4.
Watch out for mate in 1.
Knight at g5 in defense.
Yeah, exactly. Knight at g5.
You might want to keep
knight
that.
At g5, queen g4 probably.
Yeah.
A bit annoying.
Whereas here, if you defend g5 first, then like knight at g5, queen g4, maybe there's bishop at f3, you can start pushing on the light squares. I think BughouseKnight can be dangerous from this kind of position. So is there some knight takes h7, knight at g5 coming in? If yeah, I think that was actually worthwhile throwing in to because the bishop takes d4, knight takes h7 looked like some progress. Okay, still live game. Rook at g3 I feel is like automatic Bugzilla move to just stop an attack coming in.
What about pawn at e7?
And queen g7, queen g7,
queen g7, and then rook at g3 has still comes. Because now you got to cover against knight h3.
Yeah.
Bishop at f3 here. So bishop at f6, pawn at g7, takes g5, take g2. Like black can't use all the pieces in defense here. That won't work. Like black's got to make something happen quickly.
Bishop at a3. Unexpected. I like it.
Queen g8. I think we can't afford to have a rook land on f8, and then pawn at e7 is an easy way in.
Ooh. You just take that and pawn at f6?
Yeah, I just take that, and but the h5 will hang. Rook takes
Yeah,
g5
maybe
though
you,
looks...
you prefer to get the bishop on f8 as defender. The other way
Okay.
around.
Bishop takes h5 looks okay here for black. I liked your move order better, Mugwort. Bishop takes c5 first. Commit the queen to c5, because now queen g8.
Options.
No, I don't like this.
For white or black, you don't like this.
For black, yeah, for black, queen g8.
I like queen g8.
Ooh, knight at h3. Yeah, he has to think about now. The bishop on c5.
Covers
Bishop
F2.
covers f2.
Yeah. Blocking on c5.
But I think you want to get knight at h3 in now, so that when you take f6, if there's bishop at e7, you can play queen takes e7.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't
Or
commit the knight to
rook takes
h3,
f8.
yeah, g takes h3 is playable with the queen on f6. So while the queen was on g7, that could be a critical move here. Knight at h3. Pawn at d4. You've got to be resourceful and create mate threats with the pawns somehow. So pressure game, Bugzilla, 23 seconds, looking for a win here.
Pawn f3, pawn g2, I mean. Gotta be tried.
Pawn at f3 might be... Yeah, wow, knight takes, queen at g2, it was... That was mate actually, that was mating. If he took f6, queen at g2 was mating.
Yeah. Knight takes h3, rook g8 probably loses.
Or maybe it wasn't mating. No, it wasn't mating. It was close.
It's a moot point.
Oh, knight takes f2 sneaky here. Can't just take g7, but queen at
f1, yeah. Cover both colors.
The time.
Maybe it should have played rook. Knight takes rook first, because now knight takes h5 happens next.
But knight takes rook, rook takes g7 maybe.
Yeah, then pawn at g2. We had a pawn left.
Yeah, then still rook takes g2, fg, queen takes g2, and then g7's hanging for mate.
Didn't really matter, I guess, then. White's winning now, then.
Tough match. Ooh. If rook takes g7, rook at g1, then rook takes g1, knight takes f2.
Yeah. Last trick.
Was worth a shot, huh? Okay, rook takes g3, you can't recapture with the queen. No, rook takes g3.
Yeah, and you go
HG.
knight takes f2, rook h3. Maybe you are lucky.
Or rook at f3 here, then if knight takes g7, knight takes f2 and rook. Yeah, bishop at f6 critical. Or he just rips the initiative off black with a queen takes h3.
And resigns.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. There's no more pieces for...
No tricks.
Pawn at f2. Pawn at f2. Ah, wow, close match.
The Candidates 6-4.
6-4, doesn't get closer than that. And BughouseKnight certainly had a win in the tank there that he didn't take. These are all turning out really, really close matches at this level. Wow. Well, congratulations to Bugzilla. Certainly not an easy match. And that's not it for BughouseKnight, of course, because we have a double elimination knockout. So BughouseKnight will go into the lower bracket and still be a very, a very good contender for a candidate spot, in my opinion. How are you guys going? You guys have Kleerkast, you have one match left to candidates.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm awaiting the finisher.
finisher.
Most
The
likely.
finishers, you most likely. Let's have a look at the bracket. Hey, I'll pull that open. Kleerkast, if you like, if you want to get your stream up and running, if it isn't already.
Yeah, I'll do that.
As I'll probably head off to bed soon, but we'll make sure we get a raid into Kleerkast's Twitch channel as he'll continue. So let's just pull this up. Katask awaiting the winner between Pawn in Training and Antich, I should say, just because he said I shouldn't pronounce it that way. And Dog Ants are already in after defeating Bubcow. 6-4 on that one. That was a close match. Blitz Bullet versus Variants Only. That one's happening soon, is it? I thought I saw it scheduled in the forum.
Yeah, next week.
Next
I
week.
think.
That's
Wednesday.
a big one. So this is where you're seeing two prior candidates that will take on each other. Blitz Bullet versus Variants Only. We've got Bugzilla just defeated BughouseKnight here, and Bugzilla himself was a candidate that did very well last year. What did he finish, Bugzilla? Was it fourth?
Fifth or fourth, yeah.
In top 5, I'm quite sure he finished. John Lee, myself, I had a very close match against 264 Brock. I think anyone could have won on that day. I think it was outstanding play from him, and I let him know that straight after the match. So I saw you covered that one live, Kleerkast. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, it was nice to watch live.
Yeah, it wasn't as nice to play live. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, I 5-4 down against a strong player.
Yeah, no, I think a few comments on that. I mean, he played very well, but also yeah, it was tough conditions for myself, and not taking away from him, but Spencer didn't sleep early that night, and probably got 4.5 hours sleep, and my computer made all sorts of loud noises that it normally doesn't make. So I think I was down like 3-1 and feeling like I deserved to be down 4-0, and not with full confidence in the match. So it was very difficult. So I'm relieved is not the right word. I'm actually very happy to have made it through that match, because I really felt I was out of it quite early. So here we go. Our commentators. So Mugwort versus Morlock. Do we have a date for that match?
Yeah, Saturday night, Sydney time. It's 9 p.m. I think, which would be 11 a.m. UTC.
All right. 11 p.m. Okay. That's that in Sydney time?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Saturday night, 9 p.m.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll try to catch
It's
that
only a
one.
round 4 match, so the winner then goes on to face the winner of Master 10 versus Mario Ton.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to catch. So it could be, we could see 2 Aussies there if the higher rated players go through. And again, that would
And
be
if that happened, it would be the same as last year when I played Master 10 to switch to the candidates.
So Master 10 is, I believe, the one player who has actually been a candidate in all editions, all 4 editions that have happened so far. Okay, here we go. Kleerkast defeated Not Jan Lee, 6-1, and awaits the finisher versus Adulto. So that'll be a tough one.
And it's coming up Sunday.
Okay.
That match.
All right. The finisher very strong with Theory these days, and Zixon in against Juana. I was surprised at this scoreline. Did you cover this one live, Kleerkast? 6-0.
Yeah, I did. It was over in a heartbeat, I felt.
Wow.
And Joannet, of course, is not playing a lot lately, so he's just trying to get some openings that are playable. But you cannot try that against Sykes-on. You need to have something sound in the first 5 or 6 moves.
Sure,
so he just got outplayed from out the opening in almost all the games.
Right. So yeah, I mean, generally know our community, but for those who are new, Zyxon is a legend from the past. Is known as Firefly on Fix. and he's been playing the game longer than I have, and I've been going about 20 years already. So he was already top of the game before then, and has been able to adapt with new players in Bughouse, Crazy House, all the way along. So he's already secured a position in the candidates. Very excited to see, old school doing so strong. Like a 6-0 against Juanet in whatever form he's in is an impressive result.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
So Oppo saying playing against the finisher is suffering. Because you're always going to be worse.
well, possibly, unless Kleerkast out prepares him, then
But probably not.
I actually think the finisher versus Kleerkast is a tough match for both players. Whenever you're playing a past candidate, there's a lot of firepower in either side, and certainly wish you good luck in that one. That'll be a very interesting match to watch. I probably won't go into all the lower bracket, just because I think there's still a lot more to play in some of the earlier rounds, but it seems to be moving along quite nicely. And there's a lot of talent sitting in the lower bracket here. We've got, let's just call out a few names, but I'm not going to go through every match. So who can we see? We've got past candidates in here.
Your two opponents are there. So Fumitox is still a good contender, and 2 Brock, of course.
Yeah, so 264 Brock. Yeah, so CIW was my opponent, and then Fumitox from 264 Brock.
From 2 Brock, yeah.
Garnek in there, Retarded Platypus, Burp Cow. Mini Great is another old good name. BughouseKnight we just saw in good form there. 264 Brock, new talent. Pepsi and Gaming up there. Little Plotkin, PKNM. Like, to think that we're only going to get 4 players out of all these names coming through this channel.
Exactly.
Yeah, the candidates just isn't big enough.
Well, we've got 13 spots. We're trying to do what we can, but the depth of the field is so strong these days. So I think we can wrap that one up now. Do you have your stream going, Kleerkast?
Yeah, it's going. People can come over and I'll play a few games with viewers, I think.
All right. Well, thanks guys for joining today. Hope to do more of this. To the viewers, really good to see you all again. Sorry I've been absent. Life has just been very busy with 2 kids and a job and COVID and everything else. We've also had flood here and other things going on affecting us. So we'll put the raid in now. I think that's fitting.
All right.
Good luck to both of you in Crazy House World Championship.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks,
tough matches
maybe we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, certainly hope so. All right, okay. Enjoy your time with Kleerkast. We're sending you there now. All right.
All right.
They're going 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll see you later, guys.
See you later.
All right, take care. All right, should be going to Kleerkast now. Okay. All right.
Is he in the
Good
call?
stream, mate.
Dropped out.
Yeah, he's dropped out of the call, but it probably makes sense, or else then his.
Do you know who I saw in the Twitch chat? Bugzilla ZH. I'm BughouseKnight.
Oh, did they? Okay, no, I didn't notice.
They weren't chatting. They just joined like 2 minutes ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna end the stream there.